I had a build already using the Iron Lung, but I had to scrap it and completely rebuild it based on this unbelievable concept I'm about to share with you. One of the greatest aspects about the Division in general are its build's potential, from the ability to create builds from an amalgamatable perspective. This means able to combine or blend together even when before the components were once seen as incompatible. But today, what I have for you is beauty amidst the chaos. I introduce you to the Division Outlaw.
I promise you, they won't survive. Hey.
The purpose of this build is to first of all recognize that I'm finally able to utilize a talent that was once almost useless, but now, with the brand new collector exotic chess piece, has made it completely viable, with seemingly infinite grenades that prompt the talent, allowing for complete domination. So you see, what I have here is something special. And the reason I display such conviction in my voice is because this build has reignited a flame within me. One once felt years ago when the Division 2 was in total hype mode, where the optimism of its future felt like it had no bounds, because we have something special. The announcement of the next installment of the franchise, the Division 3. It immediately brought back the vibes only that can bring. It's truly something special. The awakening of my desire to play this game, to make passionate content like before. You can't tell me it's dead anymore. You can't tell me to stop playing. So let's get back to where we were before, a diehard community of agents, united by the thrill of the game and its endless possibilities of our unique builds, the Division Outlaw being one of many, a testament to the resiliency and adaptability of this game we love so much. So gear up, agents, because we're embarking on a new chapter, and together we'll redefine what it means to be a Division player.
Alright, fam. I'm done playing. I just had to show you this right now, right away, okay? And this right here is what I'm rocking. It's up to you which skills you want to use in the realm of explosives, but I decided to go with the Shrapnel Trap and the Seeker Mine. And actually, they have pretty low cooldowns. I didn't expect that. This says 54 seconds, but it really doesn't seem like that when you're in the heat of battle. I don't know, but it seems like I was getting them back to back. Seeker Mine. Explosive Seeker Mine, that's a 30-second cooldown, which comes back really fast, and it makes them bleed. So any explosive in the realm of skills you want to use is your choice, but these are just my preference. And I'm going to show you the crit stats at the end of this video, because they're really impressive for an LMG and for this build. So, the specialization I'm using is Firewall. Now that's exclusively for the purposes of using the cluster grenade. I did not know this, but it says the cluster grenade launches mini grenades which detonate in a large area of effect. You know how significant this is with the collector chest piece, which is the main part of this build along with the Iron Lung. So the collector chest piece, it gives you +3 grenade capacity, +50 grenade radius, +35 grenade damage, And get this, plus 25 grenade damage for each extra enemy caught in a blast. Now this is what I was talking about when I was fighting. So that's what? 60% grenade damage. So let's say 5 enemies get caught in the grenades. That's another 25, 50, 75, 100. 160% grenade damage. Now, you saw how I just deleted those enemies in the other room. It only took 2 grenades. The first grenade, boom. Second grenade, they were done, and there was 1 lingering. The thing is, the cluster grenades, it doesn't only increase the radius of the 1 grenade that you toss, it increases the radius of every single cluster, which means that any enemy caught in that blast is part of that exotic talent buff. That's why they were getting deleted from all areas. It doesn't matter, man. You have to capitalize on the groups. I can only imagine how this is going to be in PvP. This, I don't know if, because, you know, explosives are already kind of broken in PvP. This right here is crazy. The cluster grenades are already kind of a problem in PvP when you try and get people out of cover, when you try to finish them off, whatever. This right here covers almost the entire battlefield, man. And so the collector chest piece has crit chance and crit damage, which is perfect for what I'm trying to do with this build. I have crit damage mods. All right. Shout out to this mask, man. This mask is out cold. I'm not really a fan of a lot of the hunter masks, but this is legit. All right, the Iron Lung. The Iron Lung, you saw how much this was destroying people. And I said it before in another build that, or another video, that you shouldn't use this with the 𝐿𝐸𝐳𝐬𝐷. You're not going to do any damage. And plus, the talent states that when you're shooting, it heats up and fills up the heat meter. The meter is equivalent to 50% of the weapon's standard magazine.
Backup request.
When the meter is full, round shot from the weapon ignite enemies. When not shooting, the meter depletes over time. Reloading or swapping weapons fully depletes the meter. Okay, you saw this in effect. This is the MG5 variant. We all know that the MG5 was one of the rarest LMGs, but one of the best. It has an 85 round magazine, which means you run out of the magazine pretty quick, as you saw, but I just love it. It's so strong with this build that I got going on. Now, the secondary, I forgot to even use. I was so excited. I mean, I forgot to even use it. Even if I did use it, what would it have done? Because I have an MA70, custom MA70, with damage to armor, damage to targets out of cover, and with Sledgehammer. I rode Sledgehammer on this. A couple patches ago, Sledgehammer came out with the Bloody Knuckles and some other stuff. It made no sense to use that, right? Nobody used the grenades into Division 2. You did, you know, just to finish somebody off or do some other off-brand stuff that wasn't really main to your build goal. Grenades were just situational. Now, they are completely viable for any build that you want to use with the collector. Completely viable. They just, I mean, these are legendary enemies we're talking about, man. So dealing damage with a grenade applies a mark. Targets with a mark will take 30% more damage to armor and have a negative 20% movement speed. Now, like I said, you can use this, all right? But I think that is really viable in incursions or in boss fights, like in Paradise Lost. When you fight bosses, you set them up during the damage phase, you toss a grenade, then boom, the whole team lays into them. It's crazy. And if you have somebody on a team running Sledgehammer, that's even better. Then you can worry about DPS on your own. I think that this combination just works perfectly. I honestly, when I thought about this build, I honestly did not think the grenades would deal that much damage, which is why I thought Sledgehammer would be perfect. Okay, I hit him with a grenade, then I pull out my Iron Lung and I lay into him. But the grenades deal so much damage, I didn't even have the opportunity to do that. Nonetheless, it's still the perfect secondary and the perfect talent to have with this build. So you want to run Sledgehammer. And if you have perfect Sledgehammer, which is with the 612 variant shotgun, that's even better. Now, I can't use the Ninja Bike backpack, of course, but that's fine, because I have a Grupo Sombra backpack and a Grupo Sombra mask, the purposes of which to have critical hit damage and explosive damage with vigilance on it. Increases my total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. Now, you could use Anarchist Cookbook, of course, right? If you want to let's say, halfway while you're firing, you set enemies on fire, then you get an 18% weapon damage bonus for 27 seconds. I'd rather have vigilance because I just get a flat 25%. If I get hit, it's disabled, but that's only for 4 seconds. So you can choose what your preference is. Everything rolled on this build is crit hit chance, crit hit damage. The mask, nothing special. Crit hit chance, crit hit damage, critical hit damage, mod. Now, I was debating on whether or not I wanted to combine the explosive feel, like, you know, the explosive trio is Demolitionist Specialization, Grupo Sombra, and China Light. That's the explosive trio. That's how you get the maximum amount, which is 40%. Now, I have one here with crit hit chance and damage roll the maximum. I roll it to armor, I can roll it to whatever I want. The first piece gives you 15% explosive damage. So this would give me, if I had Demolition and Specialization, a full 40%. But this build is geared towards more of a DPS style. I already made an explosive build, so I said, you know what, let me just rock with the 𝐒𝐨𝐲. Gives me critical hit chance. LMGs are lacking on crit chance anyway. In fact, let me see what these mods are. It's only 3 of them. So the first one gives you crit damage, another crit damage, and rounds. See, there's no crit chance on here. So 𝐒𝐲 is perfect to add on to this. Like I said, I'm going to show you the stats at the end. And of course, you know I had to have Fox's Prayer and Contractor's Gloves. Contractor's Gloves gives me 10% LMG damage. No other piece is best in slot for that. Then the damage to armor, which goes well with Sledgehammer because it gives you 30% armor damage to enemies that you hit with a grenade and a crit hit damage roll. Same with Fox's Prayer knee pads. I want it to be a little bit more tanky, not necessarily that tanky. 913k armor, that's fine. You know, I'm actually going to try this in the incursion to see how good it is, see how it fares, because this build is pretty legit. I can be the guy tossing grenades and activating Sledgehammer for everybody. And you can't really lose with this. It's a great DPS build. Damage to targets out of cover and crit damage. So the maximum amount I have on everything in the stats is 40% crit chance and 192% crit damage. You can decrease this a little bit to get to a 60% crit chance max, your choice. I just like more bang for my buck. The more damage I deal with my crits, the better, in my opinion. Nothing else on here really in the defense department. This is, you pretty much have to be aggressive in this. You saw how I had to run up to the helicopters and wait till they came out, toss grenades at them. I wanted to eliminate them really fast because those drone operators, they are so annoying. They just sit in the back. So I figured I'd go up to the chopper and take them out right away. This build is crazy. It's insane. It's like a one-man army. Matter of fact, if you made it here, comment hashtag #OneManArmy down below in the comment section. I'd appreciate it. But let me know what you think about it down below. And if it helped you out in any way, like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll catch you in the next one, fam. Be right out.
We going way up, flow cheese. Yo, man, getting no cheese. In the club, we